Good morning, everyone, and I hope everyone has been well this week. And I hope you all have been enjoying this wonderful weather. Let's start by singing Gather the Spirit. Gather the Spirit, harvest the power. Our separate fires will kindle one flame. Witness the mystery of this hour. Our trials in this light appear all the same. Gather in peace, gather in thanks, gather in sympathy now and then. Gather in hope, compassion, and strength. Gather to celebrate once again. Gather the spirit of heart and mind. Seeds for the sowing are laid in store. Nurtured in love and conscience refined, with body and spirit united once more. Gather in peace, gather in thanks, gather in sympathy now and then. Gather in hope, compassion, and strength. Gather to celebrate once again. Gather the Spirit growing in all, drawn by the moon and fed by the sun. Winter to spring and summer to fall, the chorus of life resounding as one. Gather in peace, gather in thanks, gather in sympathy now and then. Gather in hope, compassion, and strength. Gather to celebrate once again. Now let's give thanks for this precious day. Oh, we give thanks for this precious day, for all gathered here and thus far away, for this time we share with love and care. Oh, we give thanks for this precious day. Oh, we give thanks for this precious day, for all gathered here and thus far away, for this time we share with love and care. Oh, we give thanks for this precious day.
Good morning. This is our centering thought for this morning. He was crucified under Pontius Pilate. He suffered, died, and was buried. He descended into Hades, and the third day he arose again from the dead in accordance with the Scriptures. Christian creeds.
Thank you, Molly. Good morning, Prairie UU, and everyone is welcome. Come, whoever you are. Come celebrate Passover. Come celebrate birth. Come celebrate spring. Come celebrate Easter. Come into our hearts and our homes. Welcome, one and all. From me to you, welcome to Prairie UU. We hope that you are welcome here, you feel welcome and a sense of inclusion. As we engage our new temporary service format. Whether you are from Parker, Colorado, or you are from anywhere around the world, you are welcome here. I would especially like to welcome our siblings from the Castle Rock UU community. If you are new to Prairie UU or a longtime member, we hope you enjoy your service with us today. And I would like to introduce to you two of our leadership teams and let you know that they exist so that if you have any questions, whether you are a member of the community locally or from afar, you will know who to contact. These two teams help to organize our Sunday services and our Sunday mornings. Our core team, is the team that helps bring together Sunday morning and the entire service experience, all the way from the greetings, the welcoming, fellowship, and helping to coordinate, figure out themes, and bring you messages that are inspiring and helpful, and hopefully bringing life into you, again, locally or from afar. The second team that I would like to introduce to you is our Lifespan team. Our Lifespan Learning team is the team that basically develops and works with me to develop our RE, religious education programs and religious exploration. It's a team that comes together, focuses on our youth, but focuses on the entire life of the congregation and how we can grow together in depth and in belief and understanding of who we are as Unitarian Universalists and what our call is to serve the world. Both of these teams are available to you as we go forward. Please feel free to contact them. You can contact the core team at coreteamleads@prairieu.org and Lifespan at prairieu.org. And both of these teams will be willing and welcoming to your suggestions, your comments, and any other inquiries that you have. So welcome again to Prairie UU. We hope you enjoy our service and our time together.
Our beloved community is not built on a creed, but on a covenant to live together in relationship, and our chalice is a symbol that we are connected with our larger Unitarian Universalist community. Let us reflect together on these words from To Ben Light, Jewish prayers from the heart and pen of Alden Salovey, as we light the flames of our chalice. History. History is scared, memory is holy, time is a blessing, truth is a lantern. Source of scared moments, creator of time and space, teacher, healer, and guide. Thank you for the gift of memory, the gift that allows us to see beyond the present, the gift that allows us to remember our past and to remember our lives. Thank you for the gift of vision, the gift that allows us to imagine the future, the gift that allows us to learn and to teach the lessons of the ages, the lessons of millennia, so that we may heal ourselves and the world. Thank you for the gift of history, the gift of ancient moments and modern tales. Grant us the wisdom and understanding to see history in the light of truth, to trust the enduring power of memory to guide us from generation to generation.
Let it shine. Wait.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine.
Hello, Prairie, and happy Easter. I'd like to invite the youth to gather around right now and get comfortable. In the Christian tradition, Easter is the celebration of the resurrection of Jesus Christ. Today we have a short movie about the story of Easter, and I hope you'll enjoy.
Hello, my name is Eliana Anderson. My name is Alicia Anderson. Once upon a time, there was a bunny? No. One day, Jesus went to Jerusalem on his donkey. They all gathered twigs and they waved them in the air. They threw their coats on the ground. Hosanna, Hosanna. It's the Son of God. Then on the last night with his friends, he had a meal with them. They ate the Last Supper. He said that to remember him every time they had that supper. He went to the garden to pray Gethsemane. But the disciples fell asleep with the donkey. After Jesus prayed, mean girls took them away. So dogs were bad. Jesus said that he was God's son. They didn't like it at all. The people got so mad that they put Jesus on a cross. His mom and his friends were very sad because they loved him. He died because he wanted to forgive our sins. They brought him off the cross to a cave that had a stone so he couldn't get out. Saturday, they were all sad and they were all scared. On a Sunday, they went to look and they saw he was not in there anymore. The tomb was empty. An angel told them that Jesus has risen from the dead. The women came running to the disciples to tell them, but they would not believe them. Jesus came in the room. They were all surprised and they were all happy. Since they were so happy, they had a month together. After they had so much fun, Jesus went onto a top of a hill and he waved goodbye all to his friends. He said, I will come back someday. While I'm gone, tell everybody about me. And he went up to heaven. The disciples, they told everybody that Jesus would always forgive them. Now I know that he loves me and my little sister Alicia and my mom and my dad, and he loves everybody. That's why me and my sister love to dress up and go to church and be pretty as we celebrate Easter. By celebrating, we say to Jesus, thank you and we love you.
I hope you enjoyed the movie. Happy Easter. And I hope you take time with your families to celebrate today. Even though we're all sort of spread out, I hope that you're with loved ones and that you enjoy your day.
Good morning, Prairie. As Unitarian Universalists, we strive to live in right relations by building the beloved community both locally and globally. We do this by living in covenant. Please join me as we recite our Prairie UU covenant. We covenant to be a welcoming and loving community, offering each other fellowship, sanctuary, and a joyful spirit. We seek justice and peace in all our deeds and relationships, and we respect and honor both the individual and the collective search for sacred meaning and truth. We revere and celebrate the diversity of our earth and are guided by the spirit that connects all life. As we reach out to offer our best to ourselves, our community, and the world. Thank you.
Spirit of life, come unto me. Sing in my heart all the stirring giving life the shape of justice. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me.
Okay, parents, this is your time to help our littles go get their breathing buddies. So if you need to send them off to go get their breathing buddy, have them do that really quickly right now, and then come back and find a comfortable position to lay down. Okay, littles, you know Ralph Waldo Emerson Mouse, and this is his little buddy, Puppy Love. And I want you to go ahead and grab your breathing buddy and rest him on your chest. Find a place that's comfortable for you to lay down or to sit in a chair quietly. And just relax and let your breathing buddy feel you breathe. So as you breathe in and breathe out, and let your breathing buddy get nice and relaxed on your chest, so that way you'll have some time and he'll be able to just relax and rest with you. Now, for the rest of us, I invite you to settle in and to join me in a time of meditation and prayer as we come together as one body to reflect and to send goodwill into the world. During this month, we focus on birth, and we focus on defeating Hades today. I invite you to take the next few moments of meditation and reflection and reflect on how you personally deal with death and reconciliation with it. For some of us, death is simply an end to life without any continuation. For others, death is a transition from this plane of existence to another, where our spirit or soul continues on in an unencumbered form. And still, for others, death is a transition of energy from one form or another. For some, death is a means to give life. It gives way to birth of something new. However you conceptualize death, know that you are welcome to bring and share that conception in this community as you bring your authenticity, your faith, and your beliefs. In many traditions, it is believed that if you speak out loud your wish of goodwill, that it gives power to it. Therefore, in this community, I offer up two intentions today. First, I offer up those who have died from COVID-19, as well as those who are mourning them, including their families, friends, colleagues, doctors, and nurses. May they all receive the love and support of this community and those around them. I also offer up those who are in mourning and not able to find peace or solace for any death they've encountered in their lives. I offer to hold in our hearts all of their pain for them. I offer that in the heart of this community, we use our strength as one body gathered together in spirit, that we will hold those who are mourning any death, whether it be today or 50 years ago. May our hearts be filled with peace, strength, and love. I now invite you into a moment where you can speak peace and love into the world by speaking of those who you hold in your hearts as we together send positive energy into the world. Please either enter into the comments in one of our social media offerings, or speak the name of anyone to whom you would like to send goodwill at this time. We speak of that which we hold in our heart and carry in the heart of this community as a sign that we care for the interdependent web of the world around us. I bind not only those that have been named and made known to us, but also those which have remained unnamed, but held in our hearts and our spirits as we move forward in this community. May the goodwill we hold in our hearts be a sign that we have come to a place to connect in a way that shares the words of our mouths, the music in our hearts, and our very silent self as we share these next few moments of silence. And may we say together, blessed be.
In this time of physical isolation, some of us may truly be alone, and I offer the words from this hymn as solace. Find stillness, hold a stillness, let the stillness carry me. In the Spirit, by the Spirit, with the Spirit giving power, I will find true harmony. Now let us sing. Find a stillness, hold a stillness, let the stillness carry me. Find the silence, hold the silence, let the silence carry me. In the Spirit, by the Spirit, with the Spirit giving power, I will find true harmony. Seek the essence, hold essence, let the essence carry me. Let me flower, help me flower, watch the flower carry me. In the Spirit, by the Spirit, with the Spirit giving power, I will find true harmony.
Good morning, everyone. This is Eric. I'm going to do a meditative number now called Easter Parade. This was written by one of my favorite bands from the 80s, Blue Nile. And it's a very impressionistic song. It makes me think of a scene in a movie where someone has kind of a dim memory of something that was really important in their past but not clearly remembered, and so, maybe it's sepia-toned and slow motion sort of feeling to it. Maybe sort of meditate on that for this song. This is called Easter Parade. The line of traffic comes to a standstill for the Love King out in the morning air. I find a place I started from. The wild is calling. This time I follow. Easter Parade. In the bureau, typewriters quiet, confetti falls from every window, throwing hats up in the air. A city perfect in every detail. Easter Parade. I know you. Birthday cards and silent music, paperbacks and Sunday clothes. In hallways, railway stations, radio across the morning air, a crowd of people everywhere, and then the people running forward. Easter Parade.
Thank you, Eric, for that beautiful song and reflection. I'm going to ask that we just sit with that for a moment. And may you join me in saying, "Blessed be." I want to say to you this morning, happy first Sunday after the first full moon after the spring equinox, also known as Easter Sunday. This year, we have, in addition to Easter Sunday, we have the pleasure of the blessing of celebrating Passover today as well. So I'm going to jump right in there with, what does it mean to defeat Hades? But first, I'd like to ask you, who was Hades? AKA Pluto, son of Kronos and Rhea, older brother to Zeus and Poseidon, god of the underworld. He was a ruler, but not a judge or death itself. Hades simply welcomed people after death into the underworld for their final resting place. Unlike Zeus, Hades never created worship or prayer. To some, he was the god of fertility, in reverence of the growth of things that would grow from the ground and come from the land between the world and the underworld. He was challenged over and over again by demigods and humans alike, and most famously was defeated by Hercules when Hercules rescued Theseus. But then again, he was also defeated by Jesus of Nazareth when Jesus descended after death into the underworld, unlocked the gates to Hades, to his realm, and offered new life and salvation, not to one or to a few, but to all. But in more recent times, Hades has taken on a more sinister personification, such as names we all know: the devil, Satan, the adversary, Lucifer. Little older name, Osiris or Sheol, and more. In very few cases, when anyone who encounters Hades in any of these forms has little hope of redemption, resurrection, freedom, or rebirth as the person they were previously known as. I want to reiterate that quote that Molly started our service out with. He was crucified under Pontius Pilate. He suffered and died and was buried. He descended into Hades, and the third day he rose again from the dead in accordance with the scripture. Now, this is what the Christian creeds state. Now, most translations today you will see don't say Hades, but say hell. He descended into hell, and that again brings up that personification as we understand Hades today in the modern world, with that overlay of the devil or Lucifer or something evil. But the traditional classic sense of Hades, or the understanding of hell or the underworld, was in this realm of Christianity and Judaism, was Hades was simply the god of the underworld, of the afterlife. So when I hear these similar words, though, I, resonate with what I grew up with as a child and what I grew up with in Catholic school. And it really brings to mind a song that causes me to, still to this day, have kind of a visceral response or a physical response. And the song goes like this. Were you there when they crucified my Lord? Now, I'm not a singer, but, we'll bear with me and we'll get through this together. But it goes like, were you there when they crucified my Lord? Were you there when they nailed him to the tree? Oh, sometimes it causes me to tremble, tremble, tremble. Were you there when they laid him in the tomb? Were you there when they rolled the stone away? Oh, sometimes it causes me to tremble, tremble, tremble. Were you there when he rose and freed us all? When I grew up, I grew up in that space where I believed those words. I really, from a guttural and a full, wholehearted belief system, believed that Jesus actually died, was buried, descended into hell, and then rose again and freed us in a very physical, spiritual, and metaphysical sense. Now, that's not what I really believe today. But growing up, that was what those answers were. And when I could see that, when I was asked that question in that song, I would say, yes, I was there. Now, I wasn't really there in a physical way, but more in a spiritual way. And when I ask myself today, what am I there for, or where am I there? I say, now 2,000 years later, I am there because I'm witness. I'm witness to the story of a man who was oppressed, who was enslaved, who was denied who he could be, was denied freedom. So you see, the song is not about being there in that moment 2,000 years ago. That's not where it is for me today. But that song is today about me witnessing and remembering and bringing back to life the story of that person who was oppressed and suffered in pain and died. And that message to me is about witnessing, remembering, and sharing. Today, I personally, as I said, don't believe in that Jesus that rose physically from the dead on that day 2,000 years ago. But I do believe in the Jesus that died and descended into Hades and opened the gates to free people. And then he lived again. He lives again in our stories and in our faith and our ability to trust humanity to do better, to constantly build and work towards building a beloved community that is welcoming to liberation and salvation and growth of humanity. Now, I don't again believe that Jesus did this physically or even metaphysically, but I do believe that his message and his life story gives us something to build on today. His message of hope, justice, and salvation. And that salvation is whether you believe about salvation in the afterlife, in something that is accomplished after death, or if that salvation is actually in the now and in the today and in this world, with the liberation of the oppressed in this life. The question is, are you there to celebrate it? Are you there to work towards it? Are you there to bring forward salvation and liberation today? We remember the message of Jesus as one that is alive today and comes forward as we go forward into the world. Today, we defeat the modern version of Hades. When we speak of our loved ones who are alive today, when we speak of our loved ones who belong to our larger beloved community, our loved ones who are in prison, our loved ones who are in detention, our undocumented loved ones, our queer loved ones, our loved ones who are people of color, people that none of these people may be people that we know. But when we remember them and tell their stories and witness for them, we defeat that concept of Hades that is modern and living today. When we remember them and we tell their stories, we defeat the evil of Hades today. We defeat that doom and gloom and that oppression that is living in our world around us. We build a stronger humanity as we work towards defeating white supremacy, greed, intolerance, bigotry, and all the other isms that go on in the world that help to hold people back. When we remember those fellows that we have around us in the world that we try to build as a more deep, beloved community, we defeat Hades in the here and the now. We also defeat Hades in the classical version. When we speak of our loved ones who have died, when we speak of our parents and our grandparents, our siblings and our children, and our friends who have died, when we speak of them in celebration, when we remember their lives, when we tell their stories, when we laugh in their memory, when we cry remembering their death and their pain, when we cower back from their mistakes in the hopes that we ourselves do not make the same mistakes they made. It is in this way that we defeat Hades. It is in this way that when we ask ourselves, do we remember our family, our friends, both here alive with us today? Do we remember them, and were we there when they were hurting and oppressed, or sad, or broken? If you can say with a full heart and soul, yes, you were there, then you have defeated Hades. You were there to witness their life and their death. You are here now to remember, and you are here today to tell their story in the future. And it is through the good and the bad of their stories that we share, because we don't bury sinners or saints, we bury people. We remember people and their good and their bad and all of their fables and mistakes. When we share their stories, we remember them with full love and honesty, we defeat Hades. So on this Easter Sunday and in the weeks to come, while this world is changing all around us, I ask you to join me in defeating Hades, to remember your loved ones, alive and dead, local, known and unknown, in the larger beloved community. I ask you to celebrate them when you can. I ask you to witness for them when you can. I ask you to tell their stories and remember who they are. If we are to defeat Hades in this life and the next, we must first remember our loved ones and who they are. Some of them are up close and personal. Others of them are far away at a distance, who we will never meet, but belong to our humanity, our society, our beloved community. It is only when we witness for them, when we are asked, and when you are asked, were you there? That you can answer and respond and say, yes, I was there. I remember. And this is their story. When you can say that, then you have defeated Hades. So remember, if you want to defeat Hades, if you want to defeat the oppression in this world and provide for liberation in this world and for salvation in the next, it is through telling of your stories. So I ask you to remember me, to remember each other, especially in this time of social distancing. Reach out and remember your fellow member of our Prairie UU community, whether they are local or at a distance, whether you see them every day, whether you talk to them on the phone, whether you video conference with them. Remember that if we're going to defeat Hades, and for me right now, Hades is this coronavirus. It's about building the beloved community as we go forward in the days and the weeks to come. Blessed be.
Remember me, though I have to say goodbye. Remember me. Don't let it make you cry, for even if I'm far away, I hold you in my heart. I sing a secret song to you each night we are apart. Remember me, though I have to travel far. Remember me, each time you hear that sad guitar. Know that I'm with you the only way that I can be, until you're in my arms again. Remember me. Recuérdame. Si en tu mente vivo estoy, recuérdame. Mis sueños yo te doy, te llevo en mi corazón y te acompañaré. Unirás en nuestra canción, contigo ahí estaré. Recuérdame, si sola crees estar, recuérdame, y mi cantar te hará abrazar. Aún en la distancia nunca vayas a olvidar que yo contigo siempre voy. Recuérdame. Remember me, for soon I will be gone. Remember me, and let the love we have live on. Know that I'm with you the only way that I can be, until you're in my arms again. Remember me.
Since 1999, Prairie UU has offered itself as a liberal religious light on the prairie of the Southeast Denver metro area. We are a spiritual home that opens its doors and our hearts to all people who thirst for authenticity and a connection with the mystery of life. During this time that so many people are affected by this health crisis, we are taking on a new way of being in community and covenant. As you know, part of being in this community is by sharing our resources, our time, our talent, and our treasure. We are asking you today, and in the coming weeks, we'll be asking you to share in this covenant in many new ways. As you know, Prairie UU is not an institution. It is a community of people who come together in love and support. We need to be taken care of in a variety of ways. Therefore, we are asking you today to give a little more with your offering. We are asking you to give generously on top of your regular pledge or offering to also contribute to our community fund. The community fund is managed by Pastor AJ and the Committee on Shared Ministry to help members of our community who may be in financial crisis. Also, if you are in need of immediate financial help with items like making a utility payment or medical copay, etc., please let Pastor AJ or a member of the Committee on Shared Ministry know. How to do this virtually? You can go to www.prairieuu.org/give or via text by texting a dollar amount to 720-730-9388, and you will receive an easy, short series of prompts. I would like to thank you as our offering to our community is generously given and gratefully received.
From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and from this we live. From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and from this we live.
Prairie UU, as you all know, is a mighty and a vibrant congregation. We invite you to connect with us in several ways. To join us on Facebook at Prairie UU. To learn more about us by scanning the QR code that you'll see on the screen. By visiting us at prairieuu.org. And for the most up-to-date information, contact us or look up prairieuu.org/calendar, where you'll find all of these events and more. So make sure that today you'll come and join us with our fellowship small discussion groups. Again, go to the calendar, look up Sundays, today's date, and there'll be discussion groups that'll be available. Some of you have a surprise coming or had a surprise yesterday by the Easter Bunny. So there's maybe an Easter egg hunt for you at home. So hopefully you'll be able to engage with that. Also, during the week, we have several reoccurring opportunities for people to visit us and to share. Lots of this time is really just based on coming and just being together in community. Sometimes there's an agenda, sometimes there's not. For instance, the break room Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. And the happy hour Tuesdays and Thursdays at 5 p.m. No real agenda, just come and visit and just enjoy as we come together as community. Mondays, 3 o'clock, there's a tech talk. If you have a question about some of the technology that we're using or anything in general, there's usually a few of us available to help answer your questions, to help guide you through some of the processes that we're using at Prairie now, especially during this time of social distancing, but also just in case you have any other kinds of technical questions. On Tuesdays, we have our People of Color Identity Group at 6:30. Wednesdays, if you have a candle of community that you would like to share, a joy or a sorrow, to meet with our Caring Circle or myself, that's at 2 o'clock. On Thursdays, we have two events as well. We have our UU Ancestors with Kelly Dignan at 12 noon. It's been a wonderful series of just talking about our UU ancestors and their spirituality, understanding how their spirituality affects us today. And then Thursday afternoon at 4 o'clock, we have our queer LGBTQ space. Again, a space for just an identity group to come together, to meet, to chat, and have some space together, especially during this time of isolation. Now, this week specifically, we have tomorrow our Committee on Shared Ministry meeting at 6:30. Everyone is welcome for the first half hour of the meeting, and then the meeting goes to a closed session. That's to honor confidentiality, because we do sometimes need to address issues or questions or concerns of members who have asked for things to be handled in private. And then next Saturday, we have our Prairie UU quilters and stitchers. Quilters at 12:30, stitchers at 3 o'clock. And then Saturday night, we have Music in the Spirit, which is a great opportunity to do some, just to bring some music with you, find some music on YouTube, other music sources, to share in community, sing along, and just enjoy yourself. And then finally, next Sunday, we have a great service planned for you. We have Stewardship Sunday, Roots and Seeds. We're going to be focusing on how during especially this time, but also going forward in our long-term vision next year, and as we plan our 2020-2021 year, how we can steward our congregation into the new year, into the new church year, and how you can give of your gifts of time, talents, and treasure, especially again, as I was saying, during this time of social distancing. It's a little harder to do sometimes. So it's time when we can get together as community next Sunday and be able to discuss what it is that we will look forward to in the year to come. Now, as we leave this sacred space today, in the spirit that take us forward, I remind you of these words from Mark L. Bellatini. Go in peace. Live simply, gently, at home in yourselves. Act justly. Speak justly. Remember the depth of your own compassion. Forget not your power in the days of your powerlessness. Do not desire to be wealthier than your peers, and stint not your hand of charity. Practice forbearance. Speak the truth, or speak not. Take care of yourselves as bodies, for you are a good gift. Crave peace for all people in the world, beginning with yourselves. And as you go with the dream of that peace alive in your heart. And may we say together, Amen, Amin, Shalom, Salam, Namaste, and blessed be.
So we're going to do this hymn called Breaths. It's out of the Teal hymnal. It's one that I know we've done once, maybe twice, but I think it's one that we should be doing on a regular basis. So I'm going to teach it to you right now. So it's basically a hymn that goes in two parts. There's an A part and a B part. The A part goes, listen more often to things than to beings. Listen more often to things than to beings. 'Tis the ancestors' breath when the fire's voice is heard. 'Tis the ancestors' breath in the voice of the waters. Za, wish, ah, wish. So that's the A part. And the hymn goes A, B, A, B, A. So the hymn, when we finish it, we'll do that last part. Za, wish, ah, wish. And we'll repeat the wish, ah, wish at the very end. Anyway, B part comes right after the wish, ah, wish. Those who have died have never, never left. The dead are not under the earth. They are in the rustling trees. They are in the groaning woods. They are in the crying grass. They are in the moaning rocks. The dead are not under the earth. That's the B part. and that goes back to A. So listen more often to things than to beings. And then we go through all of that, and then we do the A, and there's different words, but the melody is the same. Those who have died, those who have died have never, never left. The dead have a pact with the living. Different words. And then we come back, we do the A part again, and end with that wish, ah, wish. Okay? So let's give it a try. And it's really snappy hymn. If you can't keep up, that's fine. Just hang in there. Ready? Listen more often to things than to beings. Listen more often to things than to beings. 'Tis the ancestors' breath when the fire's voice is heard. 'Tis the ancestors' breath in the voice of the waters. Ah, wish, ah, wish. Those who have died have never, never left. The dead have out under the earth. Forget my words. They are in the rustling trees. They are in the groaning woods. They are in the crying grass. They are in the moaning rocks. The dead are not under the earth. So listen more often to things and to beings. Listen more often to things and to beings. 'Tis the ancestors' breath when the fire's voice is heard. 'Tis the ancestors' breath in the voice of the waters. Ah, wish, ah, wish. Those who have died have never, never left. The dead have a pact with the living. They are in the woman's breast. They are in the wailing child. They are with us in our homes. They are with us in the crowd. The dead have a pact with the living. So listen more often to things than to beings. Listen more often to things than to beings. 'Tis the ancestors' breath when the fire's voice is heard. 'Tis the ancestors' breath in the voice of the waters. Zah, wish, ah, wish, wish, ah, wish, zah. Thank you.
This concludes the live stream broadcast of our service. If you're joining us on social media and you would like to engage in the small community groups, we invite you to share with Candles of Community, including your joys, your sorrows, your concerns. Please join us as we gather again via Google Meet. If you have not already joined via the Google Meet, you can simply go to our Prairie UU calendar. Again, click on Sunday Worship and you can enter that way. Or the links will be available in Facebook in the description, comments, and also on YouTube in the description as well. We hope that you will join us for Candles of Community after the service. And we hope that you have a wonderful Easter Sunday as we go forward today. Have a great day.